albeit the truth I am with. That was a teepee, the foregone of my time with the Spirit in those plains of the Dakotas, of which I just spoke to my mother in that era of being in strife. I was of King Arthur in the old world, of the Wessex dominion, of my house of life, of which Glastonbury I would no harm bring. It was my defence of all kinds, the Grail especially. As of my time of hour of the good, when I received it upon that mount, that hill below the Tor, as you now name it, and where I in it set, the YESHUA, Jesus my King, of the states of Christ, the Franchala, my Gabriel soul, as he is known in your world, to attend to my doing of. We were one happy company in that time long gone. The late way back, I have to think much to retain it in my head. And yet it was of my part, and I was gathered to acclaim it to my name. That was a good day. And my peer here received it to open it forthwith in her name of my residence to open it as I shook the ground from that mount to make it come forth in obeyance to what was said in her prayer in time of ceremony in that time a few years back on 3 occasions. One to awaken, one to half open, one to fully open and pour forth its beauty into the plane of my life that is Avalon of the Spirit and beyond. It came not as a saviour to the rest, but to acclaim the house in the name of Christ, of my governance in the states, of the stars up above, of where I reign in the kingdom of my life. The Menihi plain, of where my amethyst ray issues forth, of which these flowers are governance upon this altar this night, in my hue of the amethyst purple, of my dominion and control of the states of my control of the states of the Christ kingdom of love, life, peace, power, beauty, and all that is good of the law of heaven and down below, where it will yet receive it, as in this house of light, where we sit this night. And I am glad to be among you. One of you is a knight of my own, and I recognize him. He has come forth into this gathering to meet with myself, as of old, as round that round table, as of yore, in my kingdom, of such strife as it was with those Celts, Danes, so much that was amiss with a piece of its keeping in my time. And this is she, my Guinevere, my daughter of such of the Spirit. But it was not safe to speak of such in that time. I needed a friend I could rely on. No wife could be found good enough to my name. It was highly spiritual enough to come forth and support me with all that I was doing in so many different dimensions of Christ, of the Spirit, in the house of life of which I sat to rule in that kingdom of Wessex as it was named, and Amnonia as she brought here to myself. to attain to Wessex as one kingdom. Now it has grown, yet much is where the Scilly Isles are. The land sank with an earthquake, and much is underground now. The sea came flooding in, that Atlantic Ocean as it is named, and little remains of Dumnonia, of which she had her kingdom. When we united as one, we became a strong force, and yet we listened to the light of life. We both heard her speak in different times. The languages were amiss, hers and mine, for I was more Roman-based, yet she was more gallant with those Celts, in what they barbarously called the language, the spit. How do we say? Froth. They sort of gurgled their words in mucus when they tried to utter their utterances of roughness. And yet she was not like this. She was more gentle and demure, and I saw this in her. And she acclaimed myself to her as a future suitor, although I was much older in that time. It mattered not. We were kin, and still are and remain, and ever will. As her father of the Spirit, I am. The Lord ARTHURE of delight, with the fragrance and flowers of the Godhead, I command it all, their colours forth, their shape, their forms, their perfumes, their rhythms, their songs. It is all of my dominion, and I govern the sweetness of the universes, if this world but knew it. In those days I had to be rough, and brandish a sword, and worse still, the shot put, and such horrors that smashed a man's skull, killed him outright if that hit. And yet the swords were bad enough. I took my life's end from a sword blow from Modreth, upon the crown, above the nose. Man, that blow hurt. It took my life almost instantly. Yet I remained a few days afterwards with the care of my Guinevere. Juniper, more like, as we knew her. It came from the Welsh, and those mountain men, and their language, the name Gwenhwyfar. Guinevere, as she's no more in this time, in this area, in modern times. Juniper, it were her name, as I knew her, that sits here this night and speak my truth. I'm honoured to be among, in place of my Yeshua, desires the King, and Christ, the messianic heaven realm of the divine. My round table is now of God, the morning star of heaven, and I sit in its seventh seat. One day you will come to sit and hear me teach in the spirit of light, in the kingdom of grace. And I'll be honoured to teach you, each and every one. Norman saved my life that night, with that blow to the head, although he knows it not. This is why he knows gallantry. He is one of my armoured convoys. He carried a spear like a lance, because he could reach them without them reaching him, and he felt safer until in close contact, when the danger really occurred, and men lost their limbs and heads, and worse. It was a blood field, of demolition of bodies and parts which I will not recall. It was such horror to my men. It took days to recover from such events, and the fields were left of blood. We couldn't clear them up afterwards. They had to remain. And the smell was foul in 6 weeks after the event of the battle. Such a blood field, and this must never more be proclaimed upon the fields of this land as I watch down, guard and defend of this house. The one in the garden, like at the Christ Centre of Glastonbury, which the Magdalene here, my daughter, has built and protects and holds the light of my life. Those are the saviours of the Morning Star Christ Circle, my round table of the Spirit now, in her heart, upon that blessed land of my Grail kingdom of Christ divine. This will evermore remain. This house will be knocked, but it will remain. There is a big flood approach. You must make sure all the doors and windows are secure, or else the glass will blow out. With what is attached in the present, in the kingdom of grace. Make sure they are secure. Have boarding necessary. Readily prepared as I look. Must be shuttered up in times to hold it safe. This is a massive flood. Like a tsunami. Deep water. Know that I speak the truth. It must be done, or the whole building could collapse with the pressure, with the weight of the water. It is not good, and yet it must be attached to cleanse the land of what comes forth in the future of the Godhead, to what has been written in his name, that wrote all the books of heaven and earth, and everything in between universally. It is like as in biblical times, the times of Noah. Much will be lost. Much will be lost. To hold your possessions safe, keep them high, where water cannot touch. Protect them with plastic if required. Those that have valuable meaning to your hearts. Keep them secure, where a flood cannot wash them away. That flood will be coming soon. As I look, I wish not to worry you, but you are precious to us. Your work is great, and you hold this space, this corner of my kingdom, in the name of all the Christ angels, archangels, and the Godhead itself, through your prayers, your singing, your healing, your good intentions, and your love. Your love is the most precious. It governs the dominion of this space, and the angels can work with it as I look with each meeting you hold. And this holds more than most. This little trance group, this session of which I look and partake this night in my name as the protector of heaven, with the round table of God, with the morning star and my Yeshua, Josias the Great, the King of Yahweh beloved, of which I will ever hold dominion in his name as his guardian and gatherer of souls of the light to his army, the beauty, peace and glory of the Spirit. We are one great force of all universes, of all kingdoms of Christ. We gather as one flock when we come to attend an evening such as this. It is a great honour to do so, for we gather much material to bring and implant into the structure of this land. You people yourselves, to empower you, to heal you, to strengthen you, to assist you in all things of the Spirit, and here in the now of your material life, as they did to us as of old, 1,500 years agone, back in Camelot as it is named. That is more truly of the Spirit than of the earth, in our Avalon, of life up above, in the kingdom of Christ, for they knew not its understanding in later times. We were truly a gatherer of the light, of the Master of life and light, Chief Josias, our King, with the messianic plain, the beauty beyond all compare to those that can reach that high. One day you will see it, my friends, if you keep on this path, and I will watch and welcome you as and when you attach to that grace, the beauty beyond words. Upon my death, I was taken to that place, and I recovered to such sights of exquisiteness. My healing was intense, and I recovered more quickly than is known in the stars. Beauty can heal all things, and it is held in the mind and in the heart. Suffering cannot go on in the presence of beauty and sweetness, such as these flowers here this night. Which is why my daughter and queen of that time brought them into the presence of my being. Although she had not been told I was to attend this night, as always of her doing in these sessions, we wait to surprise her. And this is a pleasant one, and she will learn. We are so close. We always have been. We are one being in all essence, although the world knows not this. We are like one star, different particles of the same being, that forms different shapes and comes together and falls apart, become two, whereas we were one in the beginning. In the essence of Christ's make-up, of our attachment to life, as in the now. We will never separate. We never can. And we never will. Or have the intent to do so. Because our love is beyond words. She tended me in my death time, back in Avalon. And that glancing blow of Modrus, my worst nightmare in my life. She held her kerchief into the wound, for we had no dressings as such, so far back. And prayed. Night and day, as I looked on from the Spirit, for I was more dead than alive in that time. And has never stopped praying for my well-being, or can, I feel. For she is with at all times, as I was with my men on those battlefields, of doubt and grace as to whether they would be alive at the end, at the outcome of those slaughterhouses of horror, of which peace was never known or could be knew by those Celts, Vikings and Danes that would invade my dominion, of which I held peace to the horror of much of my own life's existence, to experience, feel, touch and remember even in the now. These battlefields must cease. Those Russians must cease. The Israelis must cease. All slaughterhouses must cease. So the vibration hits them. Thousands of years later, they will feel them. The whole world feels them. We feel them in the spirit. Even death on the streets affects us. It is not love. Knifings, bombings, such horrors, are more modern terms of slaughter than what we knew, with swords and spears, lances, shot put, throwing rocks at people's skulls to smash them in. It is not human, that we had no choice. It was either us or this. One of us had to be removed in that time. But now it is more diplomatic. It can be cold with a glance, an understanding, a simple word round a table. So things are more diplomatic than in my day. Men have the intelligence and the education to reason things through, which of old they didn't. Not in my day forth. And hers of my Jennifer, my Guinevere, that sits here for you tonight. They must work this out. This planet is more and more unstable. It wobbles. It shakes. Its star system is being attached, trying to hold it forth, keep it in orbit. Yet it breaks free and starts to wander on its own. It could literally implode if this carries on. This world must be loved. Loved in all shapes and forms. Human, animal, elemental, nature growth, crystals, all sorts. Love the planets and the stars that support your universe. You are part of that universe. I can do so much, but the world must love, truly love, or it will depart from the universe of which I know and grew up in. As of old with YESHUA, as Joseph the Arimathean, his great uncle. For in that time that is who I was, and came to AVALON, to WESSEX as it was still named, and brought his teachings of Christ back to Glastonbury, and all along the north coast of Cornwall and Devon, up into Somerset, and planted them deeply upon Wiriel Hill, in that holy staff and tree of his that I bore from the crucifixion, and planted in the earth. From Golgotha it came. And has never left my wrist on that holy day of destruction of his life in the physical, as he dematerialized into the light in those 3 days that came after, came back into my kingdom of glory and the oneness of the Godhead, of Yahweh the beloved, his Father, and has ever remained into the now. His essence went into that hill of wearial, where we all collapsed with exhaustion from the journey from the Holy Land, troubled as it was, as it is now named. It holds this space to deflect much that will be coming parts of your world in the near future. Hold the vibration of that holy thorn in your hearts. Radiate it forth to all places of this world if you can. Send your roots down like that staff did that night when we landed and collapsed onto that hill for lack of sleep and exhaustion. And hold this space, for it is the kingdom of Christ, Josiah's first solar Lord and Son of Yahweh the Great. This is his kingdom. It has always been his kingdom. It's the very formation of the molecules of this earth in the beginning times of his Father, Mother God. He is its high priest. He is its king. His president, if you wish, also in American terms. He is the all of this land, in spirit and of the earth itself. And no matrix is finer, greater, brighter, more powerful than his to hold the space of this planet together for the rest, if you can remember this. And I will be upon that hill, guarding that tree, and all the holy thorn trees that have been made as cuttings from his wake of that crucifixion, of which I stood guard upon his passing back to his kingdom. And I've never taken my eyes off since, or ever will. He is my life. He is my light. He is my force. He is my direction. He is my wisdom. He is my all. As he is yours, if you but knew it in more ways than is possible in this dimension of existence than you do. But he does. He is. And he is the most glorious being to ever attend this house last week as he did. Again, I attended to protect him, his spirit, and his heavenly Father divine, Lord Yahweh, to speak here and to deliver their truths into this house. And it was my honour to do. I know we have Norman here as well. Another of my trusted knights, and I am so grateful for that. And this takes place, and we speak of the Spirit through the mouth of this woman and others in our name of grace divine. So thank you all for coming and for sitting and for being patient and for trying to develop your skills in the light of my life, in sweetness and beauty, fragrance and essence of God, which is mine to deliver to those that love in this house of love. In remembrance of the Lord of love, Lord Jesus, my Master Yeshua HaMashiach, the Messiah and Son of God divine. You are all being rewarded richly for attending each time you come, and blessings are being given, known and unknown, for each attachment to my light. For I look on and I gift from the star worlds of my grace, and lay them upon each head when you sit in this circle. So keep coming, my friends, Your blessings are going forth, whether you know it or not, whether you feel, see or hear it or not. It is taking place. So do not be disheartened, for I am with, and I will remain this, as long as the light of Christ is ever present in my name, as his guardian soul of the Spirit and beyond, now and evermore in his presence, and to the sacred of all places of goodness, grace, kindness and truth, and the worthy of love divine. So I must depart. And I will leave Norman now to speak. Carry on in my wake with his partner that has come this night. Another friend of mine that I know well. Welcome, my brother. You're most welcome. Teach well. This is a good group. Speak your truth. Love each heart. And know that I listen and watch. As I depart now, to my wife of old and Queen of the Stars that sits in this chair this night, my Magdalene of Christ, as she was to Yeshua, my Lord, and ever will remain in his presence in the throne room of Christ, that has now been attached and ordained in the stars of his ordinance. She is most blessed and has seen his face upon his throne in that throne room. And she still cannot speak of it for wonder and beauty thereof. May this never ever partake for what she bore, full awareness of in that vision, as she stood next to his throne in wonder, glory and peace. You can all come if you can fly high enough, but you must work, really work, as she has worked all her life to enter that being, that risen state, to wonders of glory beyond comprehension of the human mind, is attached to her that night and has never left. I wish it for you all, as I did from that star world. I gave the Grail to myself to bury upon Wiriel Hill, Chalice Hill. It is now named. It had no name in my day. You never forget those scenes. They are sheer wonder, sheer beauty, sheer power, sheer glory of grace that cannot be put into words. Just mystifying, absolutely beautifying, loving beyond comprehension. It carries you forth evermore and ever will. So peace be with you, my friends. Stay safe. Get those window panels, wood I would suggest, and the nails to hold them fast. For the time is fast approaching as we look. It is quite serious what comes. So get in your food stocks, for food will be short for a space as well. We would not have you hungry when you serve us so well in the light of life and my dominion and the glory that is the kingdom of grace of my honoured soul, my King, desires the great, the loving Messiah of beauty beyond words. He is the light of life, as you are in my heart as of now, this night. May glory go with. May the peace of his heart be retained among you all, that I brought with me to share with you all this night in this house. And ever remember his name, and never lay it off your lips. For he is your protection in all things, in all worlds, in all glory, in all teaching, good and bad, honest and true, deceitful and corrupt. And he is your path to guide you through to the beauty of his light and his preservation in his dominion. And the light of my life in the star worlds, with the round table of grace of the morning star. So blessed be each one. I know you all by name, upon my heart, as of this night, and more so some than before. And I will adjust my residence, so I do not stumble over the words quite as much in your time now, for they speak so differently to how I knew. This is a different time frame, and takes a bit of practice in my star worlds to get them forth straight, so you can hear and have an understanding of what I mean in my timeline of grace divine. So bless you for keeping them safe and hold them close to you, for they are the truth of my dominion and ever will be, for they are the kings of whom I serve, righteous and true, honourable, and beyond words of beauty, power, glory, and trustworthy of all divine grace, of the beyond, the now and evermore. Peace be with you, my friend. You have my whole army unfold in your presence. They would like to remember you in such peace and beauty as I have beheld in your presence. They feel safe in your presence with their remembrance of what they partook in those battlefields and survived. It is bringing them a healing to see your peace in this room, in this house, this night. To my Queen here of old, thank you from each one of their hearts for sharing your peace with them in your love and your light. I honour you for holding that peace in the name of grace divine, and hold it true to yourselves. As I said, it will keep you safe. God bless you and keep you. May his light shine down upon you in all that you think and say and do, and preserve his heart teachings in your books that you hear in your meetings of the Spirit, at home and beyond. They are important for life to grow and sweeten what is darkened, and lift up what has sunken, and resonate where that resonance has been lost, to stabilize this world as it wobbles off its orbit in much in darkness and confusion of its rhythms and matrix of life. As I look, be the light of life, be the stillness of peace, love all you meet, and we will retain what we can to manipulate what is damaged in our essence of the Spirit, to hold it together, to stop it breaking up, or even imploding if it gets too bad, and what they intend those dark forces in power in certain lands of this world. We cannot look. We are striving so hard to hold it all together, to strengthen and heal, sweeten and beautify, harmonize and balance, in justice and truth, love and life, and the power that is Christ, that all may live. For you are so loved by us in the Spirit, so loved by us. Hold it with us, work with us, be the light, be the love, be the healing of this world. Sweeten it with your fragrance of your Spirit. It'll give you courage, as we did for those battlefields, in prayer and thanksgiving for all that you have. For all comes from the Spirit. All comes from the Spirit. And break not that attachment. I cannot stress this enough. And God bless you and keep you. I now depart. Farewell, my friends. And joust not, my friends. The streets are too busy. And your horse might get afeard, as of old.